Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 10th episode of the MBU podcast, the official podcast for the Marvel Brickfilm universe. I am one of your hosts, Alex from Loneclone Productions. I haven't said that yet since the last time we did the podcast. And I'm joined today by my fellow... members. We didn't think of a quippy name because this is a weird podcast today. We got Josh from A Few Good Films. We got Darren from DT98 Films. And we got Isaac. How are you doing, Isaac?
Hello, I'm good, thanks.
You just joined the MBU. Yes, I know. Thank you very little, Darren.
Wow.
You just joined the MBU a few days ago, if I'm correct, right?
Yes, I'm a new... I'll say writer for now.
Yay. That's always fun.
Okay.
So, today's episode, we're not going to be talking about all the other stuff that we talk about on the podcast. Today, we're just going to be talking about Civil War as, like, special commemorative 10th episode, and also Civil War is going to take a long time to talk about, so...
Yes, very much so.
We're just going to talk about it. So... it's difficult to think about Civil War because it's been a few weeks, but and Infinity... Well, okay, thank you, Darren. It's been a few weeks since Civil War has come out because of timing and scheduling and all that stupid stuff.
I saw it about, a week ago?
Yeah, oh, there you go. So, like, when was the last time everyone saw Civil War? Because I saw it, I think,
4 days ago.
Last week.
Yeah, I saw it about
I saw it again a couple of days ago, so...
I saw it about a week ago for the second time.
I've seen it 6 times.
There you go.
Jeez.
Wow, Darren.
I've seen it 3.
I mean, I'm not going to judge you because it's great, but...
Yeah. I think it's fair.
Your wallet must be crying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still going to go again see an IMAX in a week.
But he won't see X-Men Apocalypse. Even once.
Come on.
He's too busy.
I'm going to see this the most times I can. Because Spider-Man's in it.
Fair enough.
It's Spider-Man!
Hey, Spider-Man! Anyway. So I think it's fair to say that Darren liked the movie. Did everyone else like the movie?
I enjoyed
I'd
it.
imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I thought it was awesome.
Right? Yes?
That's
no? Maybe so.
Character drama in the MBU, for MCU. I'm getting all these mixed up. MCU for a long time.
Yeah. And so...
It's fine, we're clearly more popular than MCU. It's all good.
Naturally. I mean, who doesn't know about the
Two
MBU?
media giants just...
Head to head.
Exactly.
Both deriving
They
from the
copied
same...
us with their name.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So... Civil War. What do we start out with? I guess, who was everyone Team Cap or Iron Man coming out of the film or into
I was
the film?
Team Cap still.
Team Cap.
Going in, I had genuinely no idea because there were good points on both sides and there were flaws on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Cap kind of won me over.
Mm-hmm. Darren.
Wow. So much judging right here. I went in preferably Team Spider-Man, but I was like, and then I came out more Team Iron Man. So, judging both of you right here.
Dang.
Okay, don't worry, Darren. It's okay to be wrong.
Neither of them are perfect. Neither of them are perfect.
Right. Everyone's got their own sides. For the record, I was Team Iron Man going in and coming out because Iron Man is great. No, I agreed with most of the points that were presented. Like Isaac said, both sides have flaws, and they got their points and their flaws, and it comes down to like personal beliefs and also characters you like or whatever. If you're just
the best solution, if there'd been enough superheroes in the world, to have a representative of each country on the Avengers.
Yeah.
Didn't they do that in the comics, kind of with like the 50 State Initiative?
Oh.
Where there was a superhero. I think it was in the aftermath of Civil War. There was a superhero for every state, and everyone was making jokes about how there was going to be another Civil War because nobody wanted New Jersey. Burn on Jersey. Ever been to Jersey? The flowers just explode this time of year. That's like one of the memeiest things in the MBU. Anyway,
The key.
Okay, that's just a personal thing for me, Darren.
I know, I still love it.
I mean,
though.
sorry. Oh, that was Josh. Sorry, you whispered it so I can differentiate. I apologize. I see you two as the same person. Jokes. Everyone's special.
Oh, we lost
Did
Darren.
Darren just hang up because of that? Oh no.
Was that deliberate? I thought he'd lost connection.
I think he may have lost connection as well. Please excuse the technical difficulties.
Skype.
Yep, Skype's great. Where were we? Something about teams or something? Probably.
Yeah, they had flaws. Oh,
Yeah.
no one won in New Jersey.
Oh yeah, no one won New Jersey.
Both of them had flaws.
Yeah.
You kind of get why and why they're kind of they both kind of overlook the flaws.
Mhm.
So
It's funny because it's like half the people there aren't kind of like really fighting for the cause, you know?
They're just kind of
they're
like,
like
they
friends
just-
with Tony or friends with.
They're either friends
no,
with
it's
Tony,
like-
and like Black Panther was there just because his dad died. By the way, this is a spoiler
spoiler.
cast. We should probably mention that. I mean, if you haven't seen Civil War by now,
that's even more judging
Yeah.
than if you're on Team Cap.
Exactly. I don't even know what to think of you then.
People who are on Team Cap and haven't seen the movie are just. Oh.
I know.
All right. So, who else was there? I guess.
Ant-Man was just kind of there because.
Ant-Man was kind of there because Paul Rudd wasn't doing anything. And they just like called him, "Hey, want to be in Civil War?"
You want to be Ant-Man again? Oh, yeah.
Ah, sure.
Which, I mean, even though he was there for like half an hour, or really like 10, 20 minutes.
Yeah, he's in there for as
But-
long as for less time than Spider-Man was. No, maybe just that long. Because he appears after the
Yeah.
battle.
But I mean, he arguably stole the show during the. He was one of the show stealers, at least.
Yeah,
It was,
definitely.
it was the two-horse race between him and Spider-Man.
I just
Yeah, I was kind of underwhelmed by Black Panther. I don't know.
really.
He was badass, but there's parts that was kind of like I thought you'd be a bit more, out there.
Yeah, Black Panther to me seemed a little too brooding for me. I don't
He
know.
kind of, I actually quite like that because all the other, I mean,
Yeah.
as much as I adore Marvel and how much and the quips I laugh at as much. I just love his just sort of anti-quips, like when Clint goes, "Oh,
Yeah.
I met Clint," and just goes, "I
Yeah, no, don't
care."
get me wrong. He's a great character. It's just I was expecting more from him.
Okay.
I mean,
More.
For
He
what they
seemed kind of-
did,
He seemed kind of to me. He seemed kind of like Superman and Batman versus Superman.
Superman was way worse though.
Yeah,
Let's
well,
be
no,
honest here.
obviously.
Yeah,
But-
and an entire like capital, the entirety of Capitol Hill blows up around him. He's like, "Oh, well, would you look at
I'm not
that?"
again.
I mean, a lot of some of Chadwick Boseman's delivery, I kind of felt was a bit flat sometimes,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Like
Like the death of his dad, he was kind of just like, oh, we'll see you dead.
Yeah,
it was
it's
the,
just
what is it? It's I am done letting it consume me.
yeah. But like,
I
with,
mean, to
with
be
the
honest-
awesomeness of both Ant-Man and Spider-Man, you remember
Yeah.
them, and it's kind of like Black Panther was there, and he's cool, but at the same time, he was kind of overshadowed.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, Black Panther gets off lightly because I've just seen X-Men Apocalypse, and Apocalypse is just entertainingly, his delivery is so cheesy.
Yes.
But entertainingly so, honestly, that's another podcast.
Is it like entertainingly cheesy, like 90s X-Men?
Apocalypse is entertainingly a bad villain.
Yes. Yes.
Lord.
Like
But the
the good stuff is in all the X-Men and the existing characters, and then Apocalypse is just
That
so
is one
entertaining.
hell of a pilot. Oh.
I didn't know until like yesterday that Oscar Isaac was playing Apocalypse. I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh,
what?
wait,
I want to make a
what?
movie with a
Yeah.
joke where it's like,
Yeah.
that is one hell of
You've
a
all seen the trailers. Like he speaks in that weird sort of cheesy.
What?
Better one. We will rebuild
Yeah.
the wall.
And he actually sounds
Shut
more
Oscar
menacing when he
Isaac.
just speaks in Oscar Isaac's voice. It's just
Yeah.
there are a couple
I-
of
What
times.
the f-
I couldn't even tell that it was Oscar
Wait.
Isaac. Yeah. Until
Since when?
since they started filming.
What the hell? What? What?
All right, Darren. Well, I mean, maybe if you saw X-Men Apocalypse,
Just roll BB-8 onto the set and just Apocalypse would have been completely distracted. Like,
yeah, they.
buddy!
I found you.
You're alive?
Where's my jacket?
To which Magneto picks him up and accidentally destroys him, and he's
Oh.
heartbroken.
I was thrown out of Egypt. No pyramid, no you.
Apocalypse is a tragic hero. All right. And those are his motives for the rest of the film.
He's got a cute little droid that follows him around.
Right, it's great.
We should probably get back to Civil War, right?
Yes, Civil War. Let's stay back
no,
on track.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta admire what the Russo brothers did with the time that they were given, which is pretty close. Isn't it like pretty much the same time as BVS? 2.5 hours.
They put a lot of movie in 2.5 hours. I gotta say that was a lot of movie, but it was really well done.
They had more character arcs to put in there than Batman v Superman, and they did it so much better. It's kind of
It's like there were multiple plot lines going, but they were understandable, and you could follow them.
It feels like everyone's motivation in the film was like everyone had their moment. Everyone had a kind of like clear motivation and story arc. Just maybe the person that I didn't think that really was like spot on with their reasoning for being there was Hawkeye. He's just
Captain America.
I was waiting for you to stop so I could
I would
mention him
argue
being.
Spider-Man, but I mean, it's not that I didn't want to see him there. It's just the fact that he,
It's kind of just like
Peter Parker surely would be intelligent enough to know that Tony's kind of using him.
I mean, he's 15.
Yeah.
How old is he in the film, right? 15, 16?
he's
Imagine
super-
you're a 15, 16-year-old in you're like a modest 15, 16-year-old in Queens. You're young and impressionable, and then a billionaire comes up to your door and offers you
Your
an
hero.
opportunity.
Yeah,
right? Something like that.
Does make sense.
No, but
It's-
if you do kind of think about it in the comics and stuff, he really didn't want to be a part of shielding and that for a very long time. Like they'd just be like chasing him, trying to like get him to actually help them. He'd be like, nah.
And that kind of leads into like how is this going to lead into Homecoming, like the events of Civil War?
Well, isn't he? He's an active Avenger, isn't he?
Is he
Well,
though?
That's what I've heard. Because Tony
Wait.
Stark.
I heard maybe it'll be like maybe it'll start off with like him part of the Avengers, and then they'll finish a mission and he'll go back, and then a bunch of crap will start happening at home.
Yeah, maybe
Really,
they'll get.
better not.
Maybe
You'll get,
there's
Like a legit Homecoming. Like he was gone from the Civil War, then he joined the Avengers, then he was off on a mission with the Avengers, and now he's coming home and there's a bunch of villains there now.
Maybe
guess
it's
that's-
something to do
I
with
think
like a
Michael
mission he
Keaton is
does.
slated to play Vulture.
Yeah. I just love
I
the
really
idea
hope they do
that,
Vulture.
I love the idea that Vulture is going to be played by
Michael Birdman.
Keaton, who did from Birdman.
Michael
That's
Keaton
just
dropped out though.
Like a
so
Vulture.
beautifully meta. It's brilliant.
Michael Keaton dropped out though.
No,
Really?
he came back. He's
He
back.
did?
He's back.
No way. Really?
He's back.
I swear he's been confirmed for it now, like
Yeah,
officially.
he's been confirmed. He came back again.
He was in
He
top.
dropped
Oh,
out and
so
came back.
yeah, huh?
I'm
Interesting.
really hoping that at some point what's his name? The J.K. Simmons ends up coming back as J. Jonah Jameson, but nobody says anything. Like they don't announce it because I know he's Commissioner Gordon for Justice League now. But
Yeah.
I really, really hope that they like DC and Marvel. They just kind of sort it out because I know everyone wants to see him as J.K. I get the names mixed up as Jameson again. So it's like I would
Yeah.
love if if he can do both. And like nobody announces anything. They don't even say like
There's
Jameson's
don't
gonna be in the
contracts-
movie.
Don't a lot of studio contracts like not allow actors to be in?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Is
but
that
I'm
not-
I'm
is
thinking
that
the DC people will want to see that anyway. So they'll be like, you can go back to Marvel if you're Jameson.
Yeah.
Well-
No other roles.
I mean, I mentioned this on like an earlier podcast or something, but the guy who plays Dum Dum Dugan in the first Avenger and also Agent Carter for an episode or two, he's
Damien Dark.
Yeah, he's Damien Dark on Arrow now.
And he's on
And Legends of
Band of
Tomorrow.
Brothers.
And Legends of Tomorrow. Wait, they brought him into Legends as well? Oh, God.
For like one episode.
Great.
and he's in Band of Brothers.
It was a tie-in in like 19 something or other. I think it was 19 something or other. Yeah, it was like the Cold War.
Yeah. But, I mean, I don't think they're... I wonder if they're even going to have Jameson in the Spider-Man films now, because if you think about it, Jameson's there to
Goes
give
in task.
Parker, to give Peter a job, but now Peter's backed by the Avengers, So
And what if Peter starts working for like Tony?
yeah, right?
What if
That
they
might
go
work.
down that road?
That'd be interesting. No, that would be interesting. um, inside jokes. Oh, no, that just got me all flustered. But I don't know, man. It's just maybe there's what I was thinking is that maybe there was like an under 18 clause, so that if you're under 18, you can work as a superhero under your own identity to protect yourself. Well, do the Accords reveal identities to the
Accords
public?
didn't really say anything. When they specified the Accords, they basically said that, hey, whoever signs it now works for the UN.
Right.
Yeah, it's
For a
it was
special
like,
task
in
force
order
led
to
by
go on a
Baggins.
in order to go on a mission, you have to first consult the UN or something. Which that's the main thing. Like that's going to take so long to go through the UN that it's just going to be over before they
Exactly.
I
even
know.
left.
Someone surprisingly attacks New York, so it's like, alright, hang on, send an email.
Doesn't matter whether they end up saying yes or no. It's more of a
Yeah.
long waiting game before they actually.
Well, I mean,
basically, the Accords didn't. They accounted for like they were hunting down Crossbones. The Accords would work for missions like that, saying, "Hey, we need you to go find this guy after an attack." It won't work for attacks like Ultron, who's just like, "Hey, look, Sokovia's 10 miles in the air now."
But but after Cap escaped from the German prison area, I guess. Tony Stark and his gang asked Thunderbolt, the general, hey, can we just go and do this in like 36 hours? And he said, sure. So, I mean, I'm sure, like, and Tony mentioned that the Accords could be amended so that they're more sleek and that they're more reasonable and realistic for the dangers of the world. So, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's like, hey, if there's a... But then again, it gets down to like, hey, this guy's got like, Russia's got however many, bad things going on. It's like, should we go stop them? No, we need that to help the economy. Wait a minute, hold on, what? Some obscurity like that. They could be, yeah.
I mean, that was the whole thing that Captain said about agendas. It kind of...
Yeah.
Fair enough. But it's also kind of interesting to see how it's gonna play out in the other MCU films, like Black Panther as well, because now we have Cap and his crew. I think all of them are holed up in Wakanda with.
They seem to be hiding in Wakanda. Apparently,
Yeah.
Apparently Bucky's in Black Panther. Apparently, this is what I've heard. I don't know whether that's an official thing.
I wonder if.
I think I heard it from Jack. So.
Because in the after credits scene, we see that Bucky goes under. He goes back into the cryogenic freeze, and then we have Captain America for the Winter Shoulder, because he's got his arm blown off.
Yeah.
Darren got it. No, and then so Bucky goes under, and then Cap says something like, "They're going to be coming for us," and then Black Panther says.
Right.
Let them try.
Well, they said they'd come for him.
Right. So do you think that's probably gonna be like a point of conflict in Black Panther, right?
I don't know. I think Black Panther might try and have its own villain, but sort of not too much to tie it into the whole wider universe. Like,
I wonder if Claw's actually going to be doing anything.
I think Claw's going to be in it, because why? It would be a bit odd.
No, but is he going to be like a big thing?
I think he might be like Crossbones was.
Oh,
He was just.
That's
probably what's gonna happen. He's just gonna be a Crossbones villain to show off Black Panther's powers. Cap's like, "Hey, we can take care of this guy," and then Black Panther's like, "No, I can do this.
Nah, do it.
This is my sovereign nation." So.
The thing I really kind of want to understand is how it goes from Black Panther kind of not being fond of Cap and Bucky, and after credits he's like, they're like all best friends.
Well, I mean, he kind of had that.
He realizes that Bucky wasn't the right.
From the bottom of my heart, my bad.
True, but I'd like to see.
I mean,
just kind of like see how, like, if they're gonna show like how that happened.
I mean, he kind of had that epiphany, right? With
Yeah,
you saw at the end of the movie with
Zemo was like
Zemo.
That was what I was going to ask. What did you guys think of Zemo?
You know
I
what?
thought he was great if he wasn't Zemo. Like he's just.
Yeah,
No,
I feel like Zemo was there just as a name. Like he has no real relation to the Zemo from the comics and not like no relevance.
Mm-hmm.
I felt the same way about him that I did with Ajax from Deadpool. That he was the villain for the hero. He was there as a plot device and kind of as a foil to, you know.
So many memes.
Because if you think about everything,
They've got the best. I've never laughed harder at a meme than the one that Jack threw me off.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you think about it, everything Zemo did just kind of like did shit to the plot.
Right.
Weirdly, can I say something really
Sure.
controversial? I think he's the best villain Marvel's had so far.
Actually, I agree.
What?
Would you? Are you including the Netflix series or?
Oh, not including that. No, in the MCU.
I could see that. I could see an argument for that.
Just because of how much.
I'm sorry, I hate Loki. I hate
It's not
Loki.
like a big bombastic alien or sci-fi robot. He's just a guy, but he actually gets further than any of the other villains.
I know. It's like.
I for some weird reason, I just think he's one of the most effective and underrated villains that they've actually thought up.
I mean,
his whole involvement is behind the scenes. Like even through the whole promotional thing, it's like, well, everything about his character is pulling strings from behind, and it's great.
He's like what Lex Luthor is supposed to be.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be kind of like that methodical, pulling strings, occasionally getting in there. All very kind of behind the scenes kind of guy.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's
they have
just.
yet to, I mean, Lex Luthor hasn't been in a movie since what?
Batman v Superman.
Superman Returns.
Oh yeah, good point. Oh, that's when he was played by Kevin Spacey.
That was Lex Jr. Apparently.
What? Wait, in
No,
BVS?
They confirmed that it's not.
No, it was a last minute rewrite, I think.
But Gene Hackman was an awesome Lex Luthor.
Yeah,
It was a comical Lex Luthor, wasn't it?
he was.
More comical.
I don't know, but he wouldn't shave his head for the part, so he's got really curly hair, and it's hysterical.
I'm sorry, but
It's like all
forever,
wacky, like not combed at all.
I think forever the best Lex has been is Michael Thingy from Smallville.
Never seen Smallville. Sorry.
I still think they have yet to do a good Lex Luthor. Apart
But
from
of all
maybe.
the ones who have been, he's the best one.
I guess the thing.
Not counting Smallville, maybe.
I guess the thing about Zemo is that he seems to have his. I mean, you can understand his motives, but it seems like kind of an extreme reaction to that, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not intention. You know, it wasn't intentional, like them dropping a building on them, right? Or like, I mean, it didn't really go into like how.
I went through this thought process. Like the woman who blames Tony Stark for the death of her son. I was just like, oh, that's a bit extreme. But then I realized that Tony Stark actually created Ultron, who then made that. So technically, yes, it is Tony's fault.
That's a good point as well.
The thing that I do like about Zemo is for a movie that it's about Cap versus Iron Man and the government kind of not agreeing with what they do due to the whole shit in Wakanda, and then if you see like the villain was created by the Avengers because of what they did. That's what I really liked. It's
But
the
without
fact
them
that
knowing it, like
The post
Yeah,
was
like,
an Easter egg where at that
created-
very last fight in Iron Man's mask, the way it gets busted up looks like Ultron, like the first version of Ultron. That's the Frankenstein Iron Man suit.
Oh yeah, like the Iron Legion, the one.
Because it's like when you see they had went into this whole thing. It's like you see Tony Stark. He just like at the very end when he mission report December 16, 1991 comes out. He just completely loses it, and you see the homicidal tendencies that Ultron had.
I mean,
I'm not gonna lie,
you got it. Okay. Let's.
Like he got rid of all reason. He's just like
I all right. To be fair, he just saw his father getting.
Like,
oh yeah, no. I definitely agree.
Right.
His reaction was understandable. Don't get me wrong about that. But it's like you see Tony's dark side for once, basically.
He just saw his mother get.
It reminds me of that quote from George Lucas where it's in one of the prequel things, and he just says it. He goes, "Well, it's like poetry; they all rhyme."
I mean, the guy saw his mom get strangled by a guy who was like 3 feet to his left. So I mean.
Yeah, no, I get it. I totally get it. Like, I'm not saying you see some of those parallels between.
Right.
And he never did get that
really
closure.
Thrown off at that point in the movie, though. Like, I thought when they're gonna go in there and they're on about the Winter Soldiers, I was like, oh, are they actually gonna fight? Oh, and Tony was like, oh hey, I like you guys now. I'm gonna help you. And I was like, oh my god, it's going nuts. And then boom, they all start fighting. I was like, oh.
Yeah, when
like
they played and you saw that road, I'm like, holy crap, Bucky killed his parents. It's like,
I know.
You didn't even have to see anything. It's just that road, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it was Bucky.
Like that.
I mean, yeah, you know Bucky killed him, but you didn't know it was his parents yet. Except I did. I mean, some guy spoiled it for me. He was like, ugh.
Nah, but when Tony said, I know that road, I'm like, oh my gosh!
So,
I thought it was Bucky at the start, and then when it brought this whole the Winter Soldiers kind of thing, I was like, oh, maybe it's one of them. And then,
like, no, it's Bucky.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I thought the same.
Everything you thought, just get rid of
it's
it.
Bucky. But I saw a picture. It was like from an interview with Sebastian Stan. He was in full Winter Soldier gear, and he's like, when I found out that hearing that Tony's parents were killed, it really struck a nerve with me, considering I'm the one that killed them.
Oh, Seabass. I mean, if you think about it, since the end of the Avengers, Iron Man's had it really rough, right?
Yeah, dude.
Like
Pepper leaving and everything.
I mean,
Paltrow can't make it into the movie, so now he's got to be all heartbroken.
Holy hell! Somebody give Tony a break, because he is at his lowest point now. He's
Pepper left. Like all of what he thought were friends were against him. Like
it turns out
doing all that.
Captain America knew it was Bucky that took him out, and he didn't tell him.
He watched the death of his parents.
Oh.
After in the same movie, he watched the hologram of the last memory he had of his parents.
Exactly.
And that wasn't even like the actual hologram. That wasn't even the actual memory of his parents. That was just what he would have liked to happen.
Yeah.
You know?
So from that...
Now that I think about it,
the lady saying, you killed my son, and then all of a sudden, like, Captain America leaves, and then the building gets bombed, and then and Bucky escapes. It's like, what is going on?
It's just non-stop. And then like
Stark in the horrible, no good, very bad.
But still,
and then War Machine gets shot out of the sky and is paralyzed.
Yeah, War Machine gets
paralyzed. And then Black Widow turns on them. He's like, "Oh, I told you, I did tell you I was gonna help you catch him."
Even the guy that he was fighting, kind of for.
Yeah, General Ross.
General Ross just goes, you're lucky you're not in one of these cells. It's just like, he cannot get a break.
I know.
He is literally hated by everyone in the Marvel universe.
The only one that got a break in that movie was Rhodes.
Yes.
He broke his back. That was his break.
Like, he created Vision, and then what, like, Vision was the one that, like, nearly killed his best friend.
Yeah.
At least he still got Friday.
What happened? I got distracted. Yeah, you and me both, pal. I mean, what?
Like, but you got, I don't know how you guys are still Team Cap. Honestly.
For me, it's just, it's the whole, like, basically what Steve was saying was, like, you know, the agendas and, like, you know, people, it's like, agendas change, and it's like, if they have to go through a committee meeting, you know, when Ultron showed, you know, when all of a sudden, you know, Sokovia's 10 miles in the air, and it's like, oh, should we, you know, stop this? I don't know. Is he going to do it? We don't negotiate with terrorists. So it's like...
It must be unanimous.
That's where the amendments come in, and they can change it to be more streamlined.
Czechoslovakia doesn't want us to go into a completely different country. We have to be unanimous.
You know, if half the planet is destroyed...
I mean...
It's like, they'd rather deal with it on their own, and it's like Ultron doing that whole thing about destroying the planet, making that meteorite, and I'd be like, alright, cool, we'll just watch.
Yeah. Well, no. It's just the fact that I think the Accords had more flaws to them than.
Yeah, the Accords were more like if it was explained better, I'm sure it would make more sense.
Yeah.
But it's like what it needs is they need to be able to. They need to not be run by the UN. The Avengers need to have accountability to the UN. Like they go, and if like Wanda blows up Nigeria, then they have to answer for it.
And it would make more sense if it was like it's kind of like how Shield has. You know how in like the Winter Soldier there was like the world kind of leaders, if that was what they're called.
Yeah.
There was like 5 of them in that holograms and all that.
Security Council.
Yeah, it'd be cool if like the Security Council kind of ruled them, and if there was still like actually a Security Council.
Yeah.
Well, Shield's all messed up now.
They all got dead at the end.
Yeah.
Shield. I mean, if you watch Agents of Shield, you just know
died.
how like convoluted the Shield situation is now, and all the Inhumans and stuff. I don't know. It's just
they haven't like the whole Inhuman thing. I mean, I know there's a film kind of in production that might or might not happen, but it's weird it hasn't kind of leaked into the MCU yet.
I know.
Like organically.
Well, there's like tons of like theories and rumors that because it got delayed, X-Men are going to be going into the MCU or doing like a thing that they did with Spider-Man or something.
It makes sense. Like, how would they top Infinity War?
What are they going to do?
Secret Wars, and they reset everything.
I would have X-Men.
Damn it, Alex.
Have Avengers versus X-Men.
That's what Austin said.
That would be so
like
good.
comic book movies can do anything now. You can do multiple dimensions, so you can have the
I think
X-Men
they should
come
go
through.
back to instead of trying to top Infinity War, they should have instead of trying to keep building. Because what happened with like Pirates of the Caribbean is they built and built and built and built, and then the 4th one sucked.
Yeah.
And so it's like what they need to do with the MCU is have it build a little bit, but keep it at a good level of quality.
The thing that,
So it's not getting higher and higher and higher each time, and then tanks out and everyone just leaves.
Yeah.
So like with Infinity War, they should go back to introducing new characters. Maybe not like straight up origin stories, but like bringing other characters that we haven't had yet.
Yeah, because the ones that I'm more intrigued to see are things like Doctor Strange. The new ones. Because I think more people are kind of getting kind of bored of people trying to build a
after
now.
Infinity War, have a Namor the Submariner movie.
Like me and Alex had like a really long conversation about what they're gonna do after Infinity War. It's like kind of.
It's just.
I think personally that'll probably be the last Avengers movie. Unless
I don't think they're gonna have. I think the Avengers movies are gonna go on forever, because the CEO of Disney said they're gonna be making Marvel movies literally forever.
After Captain leaves, it'll be Captain Marvel, won't it?
Yeah. Because, I mean, I'm actually really excited for Captain Marvel because I read, like, one comic, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool.
I can kind of see Chloe Grace Moretz being Captain Marvel.
She's too young.
Nah, I can
she was
see
old,
it.
yeah.
But they'll probably be bringing her in at, like, 2019, so...
Plus, she's short, so...
I don't know.
Granted, Hugh Jackman's, like, a solid foot taller than what he's supposed to be as Wolverine, so...
Like, I can see it, because, like, they'll probably be making Captain Marvel in, like, 2020 or 2021.
Captain Marvel's 2019, I think, right?
Yeah, 2019.
It's before Infinity War, so she's probably going to be in Infinity War.
That's, like,
it's
3
between,
years from
isn't
now.
it?
Is it? The parts?
I swear it's between the Infinity Wars, because...
It could be.
Isn't part 1...
Yeah, part 1 is 2018, part 2 is 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both in May.
Phase 3.
I could just really see it.
Phase 3, so we got... Yeah, so May 4th, 2018 is going to be Infinity War Part 1, which the Infinity Wars are going to get renamed something. Then...
that is the ended one,
Captain Marvel is after Part 2 of Infinity
Really?
War, which is interesting.
Oh, maybe they've changed it back, because when they amended things and put Spider-Man in and so on, they moved some of the movies around.
Yeah. That's weird, because, I mean, Infinity War... That's all about Thanos, right? Does Infinity War like involve like the Kree and the other one? I can't remember what's the other one.
I thought Infinity War was.
I feel like it's going to be, because in Infinity War, what happened? He kind of.
He destroys half the Marvel universe, and that they're gonna and that's how Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans are probably gonna get out of it. Chris Evans says he'd like to direct a Marvel movie.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that. I mean, I don't know. Well, it depends how good the director.
Chris Evans has directed like 2 movies and they're not all that great, but
Which ones were they?
I think there were some rom-coms. I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
Well, he starred in acting, but maybe now that he
directing is different to writing, and I think if somebody writes it well, Chris Evans, it doesn't. Well,
and plus Chris Evans has been on the inside of the MCU for like almost for like 7 years now. So yeah.
They have like a really chilled sort of
5 years.
Between vectors. It's like a writer's room. It's really chill.
Wait, of course. The first thing he directed was called Before We Go, and he starred in it.
Yeah.
It's another Affleck film.
Yeah. Although I can't wait for Affleck to do a Batman film.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Finish the script so fast.
They're hopping between Marvel and DC here.
I know.
So what else about Civil War is there? I just wanted to mention what was his name? Everett Ross, Martin Freeman.
Oh,
he's got to have like a bigger role like in plan, because you don't just cast Martin Freeman.
To show up in Doctor Strange.
You don't just.
He's gonna show up in Doctor Strange.
And then they do the Sherlock thing. It's gonna be great.
It was kind of like how The Hobbit had Smaug as.
And they come back with Smaug.
Yeah. It was just kind of like.
Oh,
I didn't realize that until right now. He's like, it's Sherlock again.
How did you not notice that?
Wow.
I don't know. I haven't seen Sherlock in a while. Sorry. I'm crumpling up my BLT paper, by the way. Sorry.
Ross has to show up in Doctor Strange. It's gotta happen. I think that's the only reason he's in Civil War. It's
just building him up.
Because Martin Freeman
before Doctor Strange.
Martin Freeman likes these kind of like likes to do these kind of like longer projects. Like he did the Hobbit series, and he did Fargo, which by the way, Sherlock as well. So he's definitely going to be a more integral
Sherlock
part.
Is like every 2 years now.
And you don't just bring Martin Freeman in for like a character like that was so underwhelming in Civil War.
But he did. I think the time that he did have was great. Like especially that last part with Zemo.
Please,
he's like step out of line. And then it was so great. He's like, you get zapped. You touch the glass, you get zapped. You move too fast, you get zapped. So please step out of line.
I can't. It took me ages to actually get used to his American accent. Like I didn't know whether one.
I've seen Fargo.
It was just the fact that I'm so used to him putting on a British one.
If you've seen him,
I didn't even notice at first it was an American accent. I was just like, oh look, it's Mark Freeman.
Like I've been watching Fargo, and it's so kind of like I've been trying to get used to his American accent.
Even then, he doesn't have like he doesn't even have like a straight up American accent. He's got a Minnesotan accent.
Yeah.
It was just the fact that he acted like a really quirky John Watson while doing an American accent. Kind of.
So that was great.
I would laugh really hard if they ended up like, I know it wouldn't work, but get Martin Freeman to be Baron Mordo for, or what's his name? Doctor Strange's assistant guy.
Isn't he in the guy in like the green robes and?
Yeah, I know it would never work, obviously, but it would be so funny.
Oh my god, could you
Baron
imagine?
Mordo, that's it.
Yeah.
It'd also be.
Right.
I know that get so much racism for that. Be like, whitewashing.
There's already so much going around that Tilda Swinton's the ancient one.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how much racism that's been going on with Scarlett Johansson being that like Japanese character.
Yeah.
I think that one deserves it more than Doctor Strange does.
Yeah.
I mean,
they blatantly tried to paint her as a Japanese person with like the black hair and everything.
I mean, they could do what they did with Omar Sharif for Dr. Zhivago, because Omar Sharif is Egyptian, and he played a Russian. They had to tape his eye to get him to play the character properly.
Oh my god.
I'm not even kidding.
Wow. What else is there about Civil War? I mean, what do we think of the movie overall? Like, what were maybe parts where it could have improved upon? And wasn't the strongest? Because we all think it's great. It's just...
I wish Black Panther wasn't like a revenge story. I wish there was a little more than just, I'm gonna kill this guy for killing my dad. Like, I get it, but it's like, I wish there was a little more motivation there besides, I'm gonna kill this dude. You know, granted it was for
I mean,
good reason.
I guess on top
but-
of that, you could say that like a few of those Wakandan citizens were blown up. So I don't know.
I kind of wish that the middle part of the movie was a little bit more. I don't know, because the build up for the airport scene wasn't that kind of. I don't know the word.
Right. I found it like surprising. I mean, like right before that, you had Agent 13, and by the way, I think like Agent 13's involvement in this movie is kind of shoehorned in a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, Cap's in love now, they kiss. I mean, you kind of had that throughout Winter Soldier. I haven't seen Winter Soldier in like the longest time, but I guess that's that kind of payoff that they never really had in Winter Soldier. He's like, oh, your aunt's dead now that I was in love with. I'm gonna kiss you, so it's all right.
Yeah.
It's
That
okay.
was really kind of,
I just came to your aunt's funeral, but you're here. It's all right.
Yeah.
that was the one thing that I was like, well, could it have been that she was just her own character and not connected to his last love, the last love of his life, to be the next love of his life?
I mean, then you get
It's
that.
just
That's kind of like
that-
Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor. It's like the Steve Trevor from World War II ends up dying, and she ends up getting with his son, who just happens to be
Truly,
the
yeah,
same
it's
thing.
not as messed up as a lot of the comics, but
Steve Trevor Jr. It's like, okay.
All right, that's a little too obvious for our liking.
In that 70s show, he's played by the same frickin' actor.
Oh my god. I thought the dynamic between Falcon and Bucky was great.
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah,
Could you scoot up your seat?
just that
No.
one
No.
shot where they just look at him,
And then they're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sort of
Have you
what's
seen
it
that?
like?
Have you seen
Nice, big,
that?
drunken lads.
That one comic on Instagram where it's like a parody of that, but then he looks back at them and Bucky and Falcon are doing like weird kind of like hand signals to it was weird. But yeah, no, that was great.
You're gonna have to post that on the.
Yeah. Oh no, it's a little inappropriate. So
Of course it is, Alex. Of course.
But,
Shut
okay,
up,
can I
Dan.
just say my favorite part of the entire movie was when Bucky throws like the kiosk at Spider-Man and then hides behind the pillar and he's like, "Hey, Mister, you lost. Is this yours?" And he just hucks it back at him. It's just
Yeah,
like
I love when like was it Red? Is that the name of
oh, the Falcon,
Falcon's?
oh, Red
Yeah.
Wing.
Red Wing.
And then it like takes Spider-Man away, so it just goes flying. It's like and then it's when Bucky's just like,
Done that
you could have done that earlier.
I hate you.
I hate
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh no, it was when Bucky and Falcon first see Spider-Man. It's like, what the hell is that? Because everyone's got a gimmick nowadays.
Yeah.
You have the right to remain
Anybody else on our
silent.
team got any spectacular powers that they could reveal?
Yeah.
All right,
Big now. Little guy's big now.
little guy's big now. Okay, so who do you think who do you think shined out the most during the airport
Spider-Man.
scene and maybe not as much?
Spider-Man
Yeah, Spider-Man, of course.
and Ant-Man.
Ant-Man as well. After that, it kind of gets a little bit more blurred.
I guess
Um,
Vision.
I thought
Vision
Wanda
didn't
kicked
do a whole
that
lot,
severe
though.
amount of ass.
But to me, he kind of like he was more.
I mean,
out
he was.
there than the rest.
I mean, if he
Always,
wanted to, he could have destroyed everybody at that point, right?
I know. I don't kind of get why. I kind of.
I mean, he was.
They
was
were
kinda
all
holding-
back. You could see they were holding back.
Yeah.
That's what I loved. Like when they're running at the others, they're kind of like you could just see they're like, do we?
Like, I don't
hit
want to
them?
do
we-
this.
And of course,
do
we saw like
actually get there.
we saw that the most with Hawkeye and Black Widow, and then Scarlet Witch
Yeah.
comes in and like tosses Black Widow like really hard, by the way. And he's like,
Yeah.
"You're pulling your punches," and he's like, Wow.
But it's fine. In this movie,
Like
no one
Scarlet
gets
Witch-
hurt. Cap jumps from like the top of like a building and rolls. It's like, it's alright, he rolled.
Yeah, that's one of the little problems that I had with this. Well, I mean,
Same
I
with
mean,
Zero.
it was. I mean, yeah. It's just like nobody gets hurt, and in the end, there aren't really like any consequences that seem that bad, right? Like I feel like
there
it was
have
almost
been, to be
too
honest.
clean of an ending, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, they're just off in Wakanda now. Bucky's going under.
His
War
letter
Machine's
of
fine.
apology as well.
I
mean,
feel like it would have
kind of
been.
wanted to see him apologize, then kind of have some kind of middle ground apology type thing, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it was very clean and crisp.
Like this was supposed to be like the breaking point for the
Yeah.
MCU and like the whole like
Mhm.
if there was a death, it would be more of a you'd kind of be like
I feel like what they could have done is, and I'd be really interested to see how this would kind of play out and how good it would be, is that if instead of just like kind of being paralyzed, War Machine was in a straight up coma at that point, and like we didn't know when he's waking up, and then at the end Iron Man actually did kill Bucky, and then that would leave things like really splintered at that point.
The Russos themselves said to Screen Junkies of all people, like there's a financial thing about.
Yeah, I mean, of course that's why we can't have that. You know, Sebastian stands on for like 9 movies, isn't his contract? So
that's cool though. I mean, he's
great. He's a great guy. It's just I would have been really curious to see how that would have.
The thing that I would have been really curious to see how it would pan out in the MCU is if Iron Man died. Because it would add so much consequence to everyone.
I mean, eventually he's going to kick the bucket, and I don't know when that's going to happen.
Infinity War. It's going to be Infinity War.
The comics. No, but so we thought maybe they were going to pull a Star Trek Into Darkness and just do like a reverse thing. Because in the original, what was it, Star Trek, like Wrath of Khan, Spock dies, but in Into Darkness, Kirk died.
Yeah.
So it's like.
In Infinity War, even though Thanos kills half the universe, they all bring him back. So no matter who.
Yeah, I think isn't that because didn't the guy that played Quicksilver sign on for a multi-picture deal? Because I'm thinking I'm going to be calling Infinity Gauntlet, saying that's how he's coming back.
And then there was.
He said he didn't want to come back.
He signed a deal, and then I think there was disputes about who really got the rights to Quicksilver, and what they ended up doing was splitting Quicksilver and Wanda between Marvel and Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm very glad that Fox got Quicksilver, to be fair. X-Men Apocalypse.
I thought the actor like didn't want to do anything after Age of Ultron, right? I thought I heard that somewhere, so that's why that was one of the reasons. I'm sure it was a multitude of things.
At the very end of Age of Ultron, I could just imagine like the first screening, you know, the writers and producers are there, and the movie's done, everyone just claps, and they're just watching, credits are rolling, and all of a sudden you hear, "Hey guys, what if we get X-Men?"
What? Yeah.
Well, then we get that Quicksilver instead. It's easy money.
Quicksilvers.
Yeah. However, I mean, then it'd work out perfectly because it's like you can't have any like dispute here.
We can get Secret Wars and then reset it so we
Secret Wars. Secret Wars.
Yeah, Secret War.
Maybe it'd be cool. I mean, answering like the question earlier about like what are they gonna do after Infinity War? Maybe they could build on like a Spider-Verse thing. I don't know. I don't know if movie-going audiences would be like. I don't know if movie-going audiences would be like ready for that kind of thing. I think they're probably just gonna stick to another symbiote or a Sinister Six kind of thing.
Yeah.
If they do something different, that's great. But
Spider-Verse. Imagine like if Emma Stone agreed to be in Spider-Gwen for a Spider-Gwen movie, I'd be
that'd be so
that would be incredible.
Great.
I'd also love how that if she did, that would just be the best middle finger to the guy who directed His star actors who he put in this film against superhero movies are now starring in superhero movies again.
I know.
Yes. Beautiful. Because honestly, as much as Birdman is praised and everything, I think it's so petty. Like the guy has not seen a superhero film. He just thinks they're all awful, and he's.
I mean, I guess a lot of it came from like Michael Keaton, like really despising the Batman role because he couldn't do like anything else.
And
he was typecasted after that, so Michael Keaton was definitely a part of that.
Anything.
Yeah.
Because it's like no one wants to see Batman doing these things. It's like, well, that's the thing. That's the great thing about acting is he's not Batman, but okay. I mean, he's Batman, but he doesn't have to be just Batman. But then nobody saw that.
Batman.
Yeah.
Birdman.
Batman.
I am the sky.
Thing I'm really looking forward to the Lego Batman movie.
That looks so good.
Entirely.
Looks so good. Yeah, one in 1966, in 1989, in 1994, in 2005. Bat nipples. Anything else? I guess. What else about the? Who else was kind of like a winner and a loser during the fight scene there in the airport? I guess. Honestly, I think as much as I hate to say this, the biggest loser there was probably Iron Man, because he came out like looking really bad after that, and I really hate that.
Yeah.
he came out. He can't. Iron Man in other forms of media, like in television to comics, has proven time and time again that he can be an excellent leader. Even in like parts of the Avengers and Age of Ultron, he's proven that he can be a great leader. But this part really showed that
he was just like fueled by rage the whole movie.
I mean,
especially the part that gave me goosebumps is when Falcon was kind of like, oh shit, to when Rhodes was down.
Yeah.
And then Iron Man's just like, nah, and just shoots him. That was when that was the turning point. That was when you're like, oh no.
Yeah. It was interesting to see Vision get pissed off. Like, if you notice
during
the airport battle, Vision is like upset.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just betrayed by like the love of his life, right?
Yeah, I mean, I get that. So it's like, I really like how they played off that dynamic.
I mean, she just like crushed him into the ground.
Yeah.
Like to the core of the earth. Also, Hawkeye, man, Hawkeye annoyed me so much during that scene because I'm like, okay, really, man? I get that he's cool.
6 times, and I'm trying to remember.
If you like Hawkeye, then I can see how that's cool. But if you don't like Hawkeye, I mean, I generally do like Hawkeye, but he annoyed me so much during that airport battle. Like, really? I mean, I get that. Like, I get like his creativity during battle is like one of his strong suits, but man,
I'm still trying to find out why, like, what made him be there. What was his motive, and why he was on Team Cap.
Even out the numbers, I think.
because Cap called him up.
Because I suppose they needed a reason to get Wanda and.
Hey, we need Wanda out, so Archer boy, go stop Vision.
Yeah, but like,
it's like, what?
Hawkeye's kind of like a guy.
If anything, he should have tried to somehow call Thor and be like, dude.
Yeah, this movie did not help out Hawkeye's reputation. I guess it could, because you saw him being like strategic with like all the arrows and tricks. I mean, but a lot of his good moments during this movie were relying on others. Like that part where he's like, like when even when he's like Vision has him in like a headlock. He's like, I know that I'm not, but she can. Everything relies on someone else. So
I'm not gonna lie. I'm still waiting for Hawkeye to actually have like a true good moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not really been used to his ability.
I guess the best that he's been is like Age of Ultron, right, with his family. So
yeah.
You step outside and you're Avenger. Spider-Man runs outside quickly. That's a great meme. Anakin Skywalker goes out. Yippee! Now this is pod racing.
What was that voice?
That was young Anakin.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Wow. Okay, maybe I should stop voice acting altogether. I see how it is.
No, just don't voice young Anakin. It sounds kind of creepy.
War Machine was actually surprisingly. I wish.
Mickey Mouse doing an impression of.
Oh boy! I love pod racing.
This is pod racing.
I'm gonna murder you and your family.
I guess War Machine was surprisingly good during this film. I wasn't expecting him to get a whole lot of good stuff. I really wanted him to be because he looks so badass. But he did some good things during the airport battle. I just wish that he actually got like a hit on Cap with his baton thing.
His traitor stick. I
wish he did anything.
Logan calls it his traitor stick, and I love it.
It is that's actually a good point. It is a traitor stick. I feel like vibranium should be conductive, right? I mean, seriously.
I agree with you, Alex. I definitely agree with that. And I got you.
Thanks. I mean, it's not like I did that in Howling Commandos or whatever. I mean, I'm totally unbiased to the situation.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
I just wish it didn't get like, I mean, that one part where Ant-Man was trying to like swing at him with the truck and he completely obliterates it with just straight up bullets.
Yeah, he's just like,
I'm like,
no!
Oh
yeah.
I'm like, that's what War Machine should be.
One flaw
like,
with this movie was the CGI.
It wasn't just a truck.
That
was one of those walkways from the airport to the airplane.
That's a good point.
Massive.
Oh yeah, it was like one of the wings. Wait, was it? It was one of the wings, right?
From the terminal to the plane.
Oh.
It wasn't a truck or a wing. It was a straight one of those huge tunnel things.
Oh.
And War Machine decimated it.
Yeah, but Darren brings up a good point. The CGI was a little shoddy during the film.
A little
like,
bit.
A lot.
But you gotta.
After CGI was kind of.
I've seen X-Men Apocalypse, and Captain America Civil War just takes it. Yeah, there was a bit of a weird kind of thing about Ant-Man's helmet. I don't know why, but it just didn't.
Yeah,
very...
I saw that too.
No, but there's bits like the chase, the Bucky chase with Black Panther. I'm trying to remember the name.
Right. No.
Yeah.
But all of like
Germany.
Black Panther CGI for the entirety of that, it really just kind of put me off.
Yeah, when they were sprinting through the tunnel,
They somehow ran really fast.
But the thing is, that wasn't CGI though.
But that being said,
well, no, a lot of it
No. I mean, the actual running,
CGI.
the actual running itself, they had them on a green screen carpet, and then they pulled the carpet at like 3 times the speed, and then they would run on the carpet as it would.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is like when they would step down, they wouldn't stop momentarily.
Right. Yeah.
Their
that's
foot would
the issue.
slide on the concrete. So
Right.
that's what looked fake about it. The second their foot went down, they were still moving forward. Like, not momentum from their shoulders. Their feet were sliding.
Right.
Yeah.
So it looked like they were wearing socks on hardwood.
And also, Spider-Man CGI wasn't.
Yeah, he was kind of.
That was probably like Spider-Man CGI was probably like the low point of the CGI. Maybe I don't know.
For me, the low point of CGI was in the airport battle. Iron Man CGI was just.
Yeah, that was rough.
That was, like especially when he
landed, when he landed and was like, funny how you meet people at the airport. You could just see where they.
His head wasn't attached to his body.
Yeah,
So-
that was.
You could
But
see
to be
there was
fair,
a black
that's not-
shadow around his neck.
There's so much CGI that at some point one of the artists must have kind of taken a shortcut somewhere just to
He
be
was
like,
just kind of gave up.
I'm
I'm waiting for them to
sleep.
build the armor. Like,
He was probably like masking for so long one night. It was just kind of like, you know what? Nah.
Yeah. Sort of click done and just slammed their head against it.
hey,
Straight
sir, I
to
finished
sleep.
that shot last night. Whoa, that wasn't needed for like another 2 weeks. Thanks, dude.
No, but it
No
was-
problem.
I'm trying to remember what I was gonna say.
Oh, sorry, Darren. Apologize.
No, I just left.
Just looking at the time bar, this is going to be a long podcast.
I mean, the podcasts are like an hour anyway, so.
Oh, are they?
Like one of our longest one was like almost 2 hours. We just hit an hour. Huh, that's
Oh yeah,
fun.
if you think about it, this is a Captain America movie, not an Avengers movie, so that's why I do let off lightly about the CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but the thing is though, it had the same budget
Did
it
it?
had the same. Yeah, it has $250 million, same as
But that
Age of
probably went
Ultron.
all into the cast.
Okay.
That's a good
I
point.
know that-
Iron Man
yeah,
got
It was a
like
Captain
30.
America movie with
Robert-
the budget of an Avengers movie, but with all of the Avengers and then some.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
single-handedly. Well, Robert Downey Jr. is the most paid actor in Hollywood right now. He got $40 million for this film. And over the course of Homecoming and Infinity War, he's going to get $200 million more dollars. So, just for him, you know. So,
they got 250 million.
He really is Tony Stark.
So 250 million for the movie, and after they were like, "Hey, Robert, you want to come?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." And it's like, right, put that down to 210. And now who?
Yep. And I'm sure, like, I don't know what everyone else got. I mean, that was like one of the reported. And to think like for Iron Man 1, he only got paid like $500,000. I say only, but I mean compared to now, that
Only.
seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, that seems like. Oh.
And that was like one of the reported reasons why Terrence Howard left as a War Machine, and they got Don Cheadle instead because there was like such a pay gap. And even then, like Gwyneth Paltrow felt like really uncomfortable with like the pay gap between her and Tony, even though she was like a substantial character throughout 2 and 3.
Yeah, I kind of wonder how much Chris Evans got paid for his own his movie.
Yeah. How much did?
I'm going to actually see if I can find it.
Yeah. Okay. Please do.
Because I'm really curious to see if he how much he got paid.
Paul Bettany's great as Vision. He's so good.
I know.
I love it.
I know he's
I really
perfect.
I'm waiting to see more of dynamic between Vision and Scarlet Witch.
I mean,
He
we probably
phases
won't
through
see
the
them.
wall and he's
I mean,
just
the
like,
thing is,
"Oh,
though, the thing is
that's-
with Scarlet Witch and Vision, we probably won't see them until Infinity War, right? And then Vision's gonna die because he doesn't have the Infinity Gem. But maybe Scarlet Witch will bring him back to life with her powers or whatever.
Wait,
Yeah, maybe they'll find an actual like solar gem like he's supposed to have.
Yeah. Have you found something, Darren?
well, I found out that if Captain America 3 exceeds 714 million total gross, then he'll get extra payout.
Who will?
And it
Okay.
just hit a billion,
he
so-
went with the residual part. That's a
So he
smart
went
man.
with the Han Solo.
Chris Evans?
No, this is Robert Downey Jr. I'm trying to.
Oh yeah,
find
yeah.
this out.
RDJ did that for I think Avengers: Age of Ultron, Iron Man 3, and
So-
Civil War now. So he gets like quite a bit. He gets like 1% or something, less than that, I guess, of like total box office
Harrison
sales.
Ford did that with Star Wars.
Oh, that was a good idea.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
That was a really good
That
idea.
one got over 1 billion, so that's an extra million quid he's got.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking at the pay gap in.
No, if it's a billion,
the
it's
Avenger-
10 million.
I'm looking at the pay gap in
Oh,
Age
is
of
it a
Ultron.
British billion or an American billion?
This is
Yeah.
not.
Oh, an American
in
billion.
Age of Ultron, right? Robert Downey Jr. got 40 million.
Mhm.
Then Scarlett Johansson got 20 million.
What?
Then everyone else pretty much got. It went Chris Evans, Jeremy Renner, Chris Hemsworth, and Mark Ruffalo all earned 6.9 million, 6.1 million, 5.4, and 2.8 for Mark Ruffalo.
What?
What?
So
Okay, no,
how did Scarlett Johansson manage
ScarJo.
He's been getting a lot of work.
that pay gap is too big. That is just too big.
I mean, you got to think about it. Like Robert Downey Jr. is the leading force of the MCU. You can make an argument for that.
Ultron,
Chris Evans is
Mark
now, but
Ruffalo was kind of
he was.
really heavy in that. He got
Yeah.
the least.
What about Paul Bettany? Paul Bettany probably didn't get that much compared to the
He's
others.
not even on here.
Wow.
Well, because technically most of it
That
was
was,
he was
that
a
was
voice
technically
actor.
that was like his first proper movie. You think
Yeah.
about it?
He hadn't seen any of the Iron Man movies. He hasn't seen any of the Iron Man movies. Paul Bettany. He just voices in them and then. Yeah.
It kind of just makes me think, because how did Chris Evans only get 6.9 million and Scarlett Johansson got 20?
I mean, Scarlett Johansson's like a bigger name in general, I guess, right?
Yeah, she's gotten a
But in
lot
Age
of
of
work.
Ultron,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
just,
Scarlett Johansson.
uh,
Yeah. So
Up-
that was great.
apparently the cast threatened to quit during Avengers 2 because the pay.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
Really?
Weirdly paid.
Robert Downey Jr. to be paid 200 million for the next Avengers film.
Yeah. Not. Well, it's for the next two. It's not just
Yeah.
for. That'd be too
What?
much. It's for the next three, including Homecoming, I think. Homecoming, he's probably
Still
gonna
a
get
lot
paid
of
like
money,
$20
though.
million.
That's
He's
nearly-
probably gonna
that's
get paid
nearly
like
the
20
budget
million.
of Civil War.
He's gonna get
That's
paid like
nearly the budget.
yeah.
He
He's
could
probably
make
gonna
his
get.
own Civil War.
He might as well.
I'm still trying to find.
He's probably gonna only be in Spider-Man for like 20 minutes, and he's gonna get like $1
he's
million
reportedly
per
in there
minute.
for 20 minutes
Really? Oh wow.
or something like that. Something really short.
So he's gonna get like he's probably gonna get like $1 million per minute that he's
Yeah.
on screen.
Jeez.
Like it's apparently just meant to be like a little cameo.
I wonder how much
But then there's
Tom
also
Holland got
it's
paid.
not.
How much did Tom Holland get paid for
He got,
Civil War?
they brought him to lunch and got him a new skateboard or something.
They paid off his student loan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
Wait,
I don't want to look into it. Any
So,
other?
wait, the most Robert Downey Jr. has ever been paid is 50 million. So they need to try and beat that. What the hell? Why do you?
Probably will.
Yeah, especially if it's what 200 million between those three movies,
Oh.
and he's getting like 20 million for Homecoming. That means between the two, he's gonna get like 180 million for the two Infinity War movies. That's like an average of $90 million a movie.
It's just like,
Yeah. I feel like it's gonna be a little bit less than that because there's supposed to be like 63 characters in Infinity War.
Yeah, I heard
So-
about that. I thought they just had a board with 63 characters. I
You
didn't
know-
think they did all of
oh,
them.
Oh, so apparently it's because Robert Downey Jr. doesn't have a contract, but the rest do. So they have to pay him single films, which that's how Avengers 1, he got 50 million for it because that was the movie after his contract ended.
Avengers, well, 50 million probably includes like the 1% cut he got after that.
Yeah,
probably.
But still, it was like that kind of.
By the way, can we just like?
So they're paying him per movie.
Iron Man 3 made almost as much as as Avengers. Just like it made like 1.3 billion.
Wow.
Iron Man 3.
I mean, it came off the cusp, right off the cusp of Avengers, didn't it? So
exactly.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Riding on the hype.
It's starring like a lot of. I mean, if you think about it, like Robert Downey Jr. was probably one of the best parts of that film. Cap in that film was fine. It's just his costume was terrible for Avengers.
Wait, apparently the main reason why he gets a lot of money is because every MCU movie with RDJ in it since Avengers has done over $1 billion or more, and any MCU movie without RDJ gets 700 to 800 million. So apparently he adds 300 to 500 million to the box office.
Okay, I get that then.
Okay.
In that case, 50 million is nothing.
Well,
wow.
It's wow. Well, long live RDJ.
But I guess Civil War was the. Oh no, wait, actually, Chris Evans was not really that smart and continued his contract instead of doing the RDJ way.
Now people are liking Cap more.
Yeah.
Because Marvel is really trying to like kind of focus the shift to him. Cap might survive after Infinity War, maybe. I don't know though. Iron Man's definitely not, because RDJ's expressed multiple times how he's getting really tired. He's been at it for a decade now, so
yeah.
I mean, you gotta admire like the dedication he's put into this franchise.
Apparently, the reason why Scarlett Johansson got 20 million was because she was like classed as the only girl on set.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
Now this makes me sad. I'm done looking this up. I can't find the actual thing.
So
that's fine.
Inverse equality there, kind of.
Yeah. Anything else? Any closing thoughts on Civil War? I guess we didn't really talk about the final fight, did we?
It felt
organic.
The emotion in that scene should have been in the airport scene.
At the same time, I'm kind of glad it wasn't, because the airport scene was the fun superhero bit that they're getting kind of out. They're almost getting it out of the way to make way for the really emotional. Like, it's the most emotional fight in the MCU.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah, absolutely.
I loved behind the actors because you could just kind of see. You just felt for. Actually, you felt for both, except I didn't really feel for Bucky at all.
You didn't want either of them to win. You just wanted them both to stop.
Yeah.
Just hug each other. Shake hands.
Please.
I wanted Iron Man to win.
And then whenever Bucky,
I really wanted Bucky to die.
Bucky, you get out here. It's still your fault. Go home.
And Bucky was trying to go in home, but Iron Man's like, well, nope.
I know.
He's like, targeting systems aren't.
I'm just gonna go back to Bucharest. You guys just chill here. I'll see you later.
Boss, targeting systems are knackered. And then he's just like, I'm eyeballing it, and he just tracks him in.
Yeah. I know, it's when it's like when Bucky's trying to actually pull out his chest piece and he just gets fucked from that. It's like, oh, so
yeah. He's just like, nope, sorry, bro. Need a hand? Nope.
I mean,
need
yeah. They got the Star Wars mentality. There was a post the other day where like every single MCU film past, I think it was maybe, I think after everything past Winter Soldier, someone's lost an arm in every MCU film. Cause like,
oh yeah, in Thor 2 he gets his hand cut off.
It's every movie of Phase 2, I think.
Yeah, every movie of Phase 2. And then Phase 3, I guess, because Civil War is the only one. And Bucky got his
arm chopped off.
Yeah, Coulson gets his arm chopped off, including, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh no, because Ant-Man, I don't think anyone loses one. That's Phase 3.
That's a good point.
No.
Ant-Man's Phase 2.
That the first thing that when Yellow Jacket implodes, his arm is the first thing to go.
Ah, there you go.
I read something where it's like every single Phase 2 movie.
Wait, what about Guardians?
Arm. And so Yellow Jacket, they did it intentionally so that his arm.
Groot. I guess Groot got like his arm chopped off at some point,
Groot
right?
got his arm chopped off
got
by
both his arms chopped off.
Yeah.
They got both of them chopped off.
Oh, that's a good point.
Quit crying, you daft idiot. They're gonna go back.
I only realized the other day how close Guardians 2 is. Like, it's less than a year. I'm not saying close,
Is it slated for August or something? May?
May.
I think May.
Or April or May.
May's usually their big budget movie time slot.
Yeah.
That's definitely Guardians.
Yeah. So whether it's
I'm so excited.
whether it's the Iron Mans or the Avengers or Civil War or
I really hope they put Iron Man into like Guardians 3 or something, because Iron Man, when he goes and joins
he joined the Guardians for a little bit.
It's great because like
the
chemistry between him and Rocket.
Avengers first, and then go into.
Too bad for Guardians 3.
So hopefully
Iron Man's
he
probably
doesn't
gonna die
in Infinity War.
Yeah, he's gonna die. He's totally gonna die.
Hopefully.
I'm just
how similar all of the like front posters of Phase 2 is.
Oh yeah.
Let me think about this here. Now that I think about it, yeah, that's a very accurate thing to say. Let's see.
What's all of your favorite scenes?
Ooh. Dan with his
And
hosting chops.
Zemo goes, mission report, December 16th.
I'm pretty sure it's everyone's favorite.
When they give you pictures of Spider-Man, but you wanted mission report, December 16th, 91.
No, the best one I've seen is when you ask for nudes and all they give you is mission report.
I thought it was the opposite. When they send it, but all you wanted was mission report.
Yeah, that was it. When you send nudes and all you get is
Finding Zemo.
Yeah, Finding Zemo.
That was a good one. Favorite scene? That's hard to say. I just saw it like a week ago too.
Mine's probably when Tony and Peter meet for the first time. It's just great when Tony's just walking around the room and he like pulls his suit down and then Peter's like, no.
He just tackles it into the laundry basket.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
I'd
say the final fight, but just the way it ended, I got so pissed. I mean, if it was a one-on-one Iron Man v Cap, I think we know who the winner would be.
Because I gotta say, Alex, I'm kind of with you on that side, because the only reason Iron Man lost was because Bucky kicked Iron Man in the leg afterwards.
Yeah.
Iron Man was about to shoot Captain America off that.
If you think about it, if it was like a one-on-one fight, like in a wide open field,
all
right?
Iron Man would do is get rid of his shield and then Captain America.
If you think, just get a magnet, you know, magnet suit.
And it's Red Sun repulsors.
Red Sun repulsors.
What if they do what like Avengers 1 did, and it's like somehow Cap can withstand all the power Thor has in his shield?
Vibranium distributed the force or something.
It absorbs.
It absorbed it.
Vibration.
Yeah,
not an incredible amount of vibration. All vibration.
Oh, so it does that, but when it gets shot by like a tank, he goes flying. Makes sense.
If you think about, if you think about it, Thor was coming from Cap from like from the top, so he didn't really have like anywhere to go.
Break his legs.
But he's a super soldier.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot.
And if you think about it, like a tank is
really sorry.
Tank is like horizontal. So
I mean,
you're right.
Universe,
you're right.
If you compare it to the comic books, a shield that doesn't
off a building and his legs
is not the most.
I know, what was I thinking? He jumps off from rooftops and it's fine. I'm sorry.
About the first Avenger, his legs are like built. Did you see him jump?
True.
Yeah.
It's
He leaped over cars.
The last thing that's gonna break in Captain America are his legs.
And especially in Winter Soldier, he can jump off from like the top of Shield building, but it's alright. He lands on his shield. It's okay.
Yeah.
Captain America.
His head would have cracked against the shield, and it's like he would have been dead.
The shield absorbed all the vibration of the ground.
Yeah, but
he didn't feel it.
But his head absorbed all the vibration of the shield.
That's very good. You should just put a cushion on it. You should just strap a pillow to the back of his shield.
He just start jumping everywhere. Just quickly put a shield below.
Just go skydiving. Skydiving with your shield.
I mean, he jumped out of a. I really wish in Winter Soldier when he jumped out of the helicopter he had a parachute, at least a reserve one. Just
like the thing I love.
If you hit the water from that high up, it's like hitting concrete.
Yeah, it's meant to feel like concrete. So he just dives into it like that's alright.
Broken his legs.
Exactly.
Should have broken his everything.
Can't walk anymore.
What if he wasn't aiming right and hit the boat?
The shield will absorb all the vibrations.
It's like I can just imagine it's such like an unenthusiastic shot, and all you hear is
well, the end.
And Black Widow as well. Like, well,
we gotta go fight the Winter Soldier, I guess.
I really want to make a.
I still never said our favorite scenes.
I really want to make a parody of the Crossbones scene where it's like, "You're a friend, your pal, you're Bucky." When then Captain America goes, "Why'd you say that name?"
Oh my god.
When Iron Man's got Captain America pinned down, he's like, "We have to save Martha."
We have to save Bucky. Why did you say that name?
No, James. We have to say James.
James.
Why did you say the name?
Why did you say that?
We have to save Howard.
And oh god.
Save Howard.
Why did you say that name?
Just think if Bucky didn't kill Howard, think of all the different things would happen.
Hey guys.
You know, imagine if Bucky just like landed on his head instead of his arm or whatever.
Guys,
like,
what is
right?
Tony Stark's mom?
If Bucky just died, everything would have been so much easier.
Actually, guys,
I really don't understand how he fell out the train, and it's like, all right, he just didn't splat. It's fine. It's like fell off a cliff.
He's landed in a snowbank.
Right there.
Comic books. This is a comic book where
I forgot.
But guys,
people fall off cliffs.
I have a really serious question.
Speed at his speed, and they don't lose all their skin.
True.
That's true. But I have a serious question. Tony
I'm
Stark's
covering your
mom.
head so you don't get whiplash.
What is her name?
Whiplash is the last thing you're going to be worried about next.
Oh, I forgot what her name is. It's something pretty simple.
Who's last name?
Tony Stark's mom.
Tony Stark's mom's name?
Amanda?
Oh, Jesus.
Maria. That's actually really
Maria
close to
Martha.
Martha. Oh my god. Of course.
Well,
Of course it's Maria.
Look up Tony Stark's mom, and all I see is, could Peggy Carter really be Tony Stark's mom?
What?
No! That is not...
She would have to be like... Okay, Tony Stark was born in the 70s.
So she would have been like 50 something. No, 60. She'd probably be pushing 60.
Peggy was born in like 1920. So...
He was born this... She'd be pushing 50. That's not possible.
Yeah. I mean, in a very modern progressive society... I mean, granted, Howard was like 60 when he had his kid, so
this person
not
goes
60,
like in
but
detail
40.
how it could be possible, and then it says, except of course, Haley Atwell just said the idea makes no sense. It's like, what this guy even
Clickbait! Clickbait!
Bastard.
What if Sharon's mom is Tony Stark's mom?
What if Tony Stark is a mother to someone else? That's a plot twist and a half.
He's a mother to Jarvis and Vision.
That is true.
And Friday, I guess.
It's Friday, yeah.
I love Friday so much.
Yeah.
Targeting systems are not good, boss.
I love that.
Yeah.
Like, what do I look like? What
Irish.
does it look like? I'm picturing a redhead. I think you're thinking of someone else.
Oh, sick burn!
Just like gloves come off.
By the way, can we appreciate that suit-up scene in the helicopter?
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming. It's like
I don't think anybody saw that coming.
It took.
was like,
It wasn't until the second or third time I saw the movie that I realized there was no pilot in the helicopter. I was gonna say, it's like the pilot's
where did
gonna
the
be really
helicopter
confused
go?
when he sees
What happens
Tony's
to the
mom.
helicopter afterwards? It just
Yeah, where did
They probably just like went home.
Probably went missing.
I was gonna say if there was a pilot, he's gonna be really confused when Tony just vanished.
By the way, now
I
we got
just-
the raft.
guessing it was
It was
Friday.
the second time I watched it, I noticed that it was literally he just touched his finger on it, and
Yeah.
it went up his finger. I was like, oh,
It's
Jesus.
it just probably he used some of that Apple fingerprint scanning technology.
Next thing he'll have
I
like.
like how he had that little bit of pain. Like he takes the sling off, and then he's like, "Ow!" And then he pushes the button.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a suit of armor, so it's not like, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, but to get it on.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he's like,
I will
he
still
twists his arm and you see
forever-
the flinch.
Still forever the biggest like thing I hate in Iron Man 3 is the fact that apparently with Iron Man 3
Oh my
logic,
God, Darren, Jesus
Tony
Christ.
Stark fucking is the thing that holds his suit together ever since it gets hit by the truck.
It
I can
was
just
an
never let that go.
experimental. That
I
was
can
the
ne-
Mark
I can never
42.
let that go.
The Mark
I can
42
never-
was
no.
meant to be separate armor pieces.
I can never let it go. Just can't let it
Shut up, Darren. I hate you.
go. Can't let it go.
Love Iron Man 3.
I gotta
No.
see it again.
Mario.
one guy-
It's like Mario's favorite MCU movie now.
That's
So
transition.
darkness.
It's like Mario's favorite Iron Man movie now. It's like it's like one of his favorite MCU movies now.
Huh.
I love it. I love Iron Man 3
I
so
think
much.
that people shouldn't hate it because of the Mandarin.
The Mandarin. Yeah, that's silly for them to
I
hate it
mean,
because
I
the Mandarin.
just-
The Mandarin was never a good character. The Mandarin was
Suit
never a
is-
good character in the first place.
It's only
I
the
gotta
suit
say,
that
everyone's
annoys
like,
me.
"Oh, Mandarin was Tony Stark's biggest nemesis," and I'm like, "Are you sure about that?" If so,
I mean,
I'm
he
pretty sure they would have
was.
written him better.
He was. He just wasn't a good character.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like
Like in the 70s.
Before Iron Man 3, I had never heard of the Mandarin. So quite frankly, it's like I learned.
You would have if you had
10
seen
rings or something. It's like, oh, it's the cult
Iron
from
Man
the first
Armored
one.
Adventures.
But did you see that the Iron Man 3 villain was meant to be a girl, but they fucking made it a guy so they'd sell more action figures?
Oh yeah, Killian was meant to be a girl, and then they made him a guy.
Why?
It's,
That
action
would've
You
been
know-
a really awkward thing between him and Pepper.
Yeah.
That was weird.
How
That was so weird.
What
He's
if
like,
it's
I'm
between
inside.
him- it
You're
would've-
inside my
it would've
brain
been
right
between,
now.
Killian and Happy.
Jeez.
And at the very end, it's like he's trying to save Happy from falling off a building.
Oh my.
Maybe Pep was bi-curious one.
Mm.
Maybe this is like
We,
a big way
the
to
MCU is very
lesbian.
That's
progressive.
the big reveal.
MCU is very progressive. We've seen Jessica Jones, right? With
Yeah.
the first 15 seconds of that show.
Yeah, as soon as I started watching it when it came out, I was like, oh, well, here we go.
Yeah, it's like, oh look, all
It's
right,
this type of show.
all right, strap in, let's do this.
Strap on.
Oh,
Uh,
I apologize.
full of all the jokes today, Alex.
We should probably.
What's our age range again?
Deadpool. No.
We every age.
12 and 14.
6 to 12 is most of it. Though actually, to people who probably listen to the podcast, it's more like
That's if
12
people
to
listen the
16 or
podcast.
something. I mean, we get like 300 people that listen to the podcast.
I know, it's pretty cool. You should probably bleep it all the times I swear, because I don't want to be a bad influence.
Yeah,
Or just
I
cut it
know.
out.
Just
I was
jump-
expecting you to go full Scotsman when you reconnected, but you didn't, and I'm kind of depressed.
I'm so sorry.
full
I'm so.
What do you count as full?
fucking
What is a stereotype of full Scotsman? Is it like Frankie Boyle?
Oh god. If I came back being like him, none of you guys would be my friends. Just be all racist. Is that
No,
what
that.
is that what he's
My dad's
racist and drunk?
Scottish.
I was
It's my dad's
expecting you to
Scottish,
start
so-
cursing like a sailor,
Oh,
like about the
yes.
internet.
Cheap. Lots
No,
of
the
cheap.
the only time I've ever not been offended by someone else in a Scottish accent, Isaac, is when you did your Peter Capaldi. I thought that was spot on. So I was like, you know what? I'm not offended. I'm not even offended.
See, I do a Scottish
Well, I
accent
don't-
whenever I'm in a call with Darren, and he gets instantly
No,
offended.
Alex, you be quiet. Just you shush.
I could do a pretty good Jon Snow.
Jon
Okay.
Snow is not Scottish.
I know, but just for the record, it's just a redeeming quality that I have.
Everything
Jon
you said
Snow.
was insulting me.
Winter is coming. All right, you're welcome.
Pretty good.
You know
he says.
nothing, Alex. You know nothing.
You know nothing, John.
Fine. On that note, does anyone have any final thoughts on Civil War?
Yeah, I'll knock your bleeding
So-
block off.
Wait, okay. Where does it lie on everyone? Knock your bleeding block off. So,
Wow!
no, that's what.
Why
Josh,
am I here?
no. Josh just said that. Never mind.
I don't know
You know
what
what?
you're talking about, Alex.
I hate you,
I'm trying to pass
Josh.
the blame.
Wow. All right. Where does
I
this
don't think
where
Josh should do that.
where does this rank on everyone's list of the MCU movies for like personal
It's
favorites?
definitely up
I'm
there.
gonna have to binge watch them all again just to get an idea, but
Yeah.
it's either
2
one
or
or
3.
two. Now, I think it's one of the best.
It's gotta be.
Mine's probably 2, because Guardians will forever be my number 1.
It's gotta be like
I think I'm gonna agree with you there. Just Guardians makes me
Guardians
smile.
is just different. It was just so different, and
It's gotta be like.
It was different and not different. It was weird.
Yeah,
but
like it still had the same generic superhero plot where it was like, oh, they're gonna kill the planet, lol. Try and defend us, yeah.
Why do you want to save the universe? Because I'm one of the idiots that lives in it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just everything else in the whole. It just made everything. It was just perfect. I've never had so much fun at cinema.
Oh yeah,
right,
it's great.
From the title card.
Have tried to be Guardians of the Galaxy. Like even The Martian had like a pop playlist, which sounded like it was trying to be.
Yeah.
They're all trying to do it. And so you just can't do it like James Gunn did.
To number 2.
It's just like from the title card when all you see is like hey, and it's this Guardians of the Galaxy appears.
I was talking about this with Darren the other day. What if Guardians for like a final boss music had the final countdown?
Yeah.
Or it's like Peter Quill like waking up in the morning and like brushing his teeth or something.
It's a thing in terms of 80s music being played to a Marvel film. Again, I think X-Men Apocalypse has just topped it. You're gonna have to see it yourselves, guys. But
it comes out this Friday in America, I think.
Thursday screenings.
Thursday night.
Yeah, Thursday.
All right, guys.
The thing that I do kind of like though in Guardians is that James Gunn's gonna use Prince music in dedication, and David Bowie.
Oh, that's nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
No Michael Jackson.
Imagine like Smooth Criminal.
We just got copyright.
You were that good, Alex. Well
I'm that good.
Well done.
Hit by lawsuit. We'll see you in court, suckers.
My many voice acting talents.
From
Also,
Scottish to Doom. Fucking
Jon Snow.
I just want to point out, Knock Your Bleeding Block Off was supposed to be Australian.
Oh mate, unlock your blade. I just go straight to. I just go to like. I just go to my perception of what a Scottish person sounds like halfway through saying that.
all you do is bully me, Alex. That's all you do.
You know what?
Just
that's true.
Wow.
Wow.
Take the stereotype and go.
On that note, we
you
should
could
probably.
do a better Scottish accent than I can, Isaac.
On that note,
Scottish dad.
we should probably end the podcast.
Oh yeah, good idea.
Thanks everyone.
Yeah, wait, is this the longest one?
No, the longest one was 2 hours long.
Wait, 2 hours.
So I'm sure if we had like the other segments, like the news segments, and like because there's been so much news. There's been so much news since the last episode.
Maybe we should do a news segment.
A news segment? No, let's
Wait,
not.
the last one's. Oh, it was an hour 50 minutes. Can you just add like a black screen for another hour?
For an hour.
End it yet?
Please.
No, we have not ended yet.
Okay.
Still,
now?
please.
No.
All right.
On that note, thanks guys for listening to the 10th episode of the MBU podcast. Who thought we'd get to 10 episodes? Crazy, right?
What?
Right.
Yeah. Everyone thought we were just going to do this after like 2 episodes and be done with it. He's like, nope. 10.
I showed them wrong.
1,000 subscribers.
That's what everyone thought when they released Iron
Oh yeah,
Man.
MBU got 1,000 subscribers since the last episode. MBU channel.
Oh,
wait, it is?
Iron Man.
Whoops,
No.
never mind.
You're a liar.
Wow.
When
Wait,
Marvel
way to
shows
date our
like-
content. Way to date our content, Darren. Telling them how many subscribers we have. Wow.
What?
But
You know,
telling
I'm
them
sorry.
it's May 22nd, 2016 at approximately 4:53 p.m.
You know
And I
what,
know
Josh?
now.
I don't appreciate you doing that right now. Thank you.
Knowing Alex is editing, this will probably be out by like the 28th.
It will.
That's right, Alex.
You know what?
That's
I'm
right.
getting it done tonight. Oh, but I got Game of Thrones tonight. Maybe not by tonight. All right. Thanks, guys, once again for listening to the MBU podcast. And we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.
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 Hope you find your dad.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.